and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the Mars Dota 2 League. It is the CIS qualifiers for the major that's coming up. All you fine folks out there, hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, all over the wide, wonderful world of Dota 2. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by the wonderful Draskyl, who has been up since, I want to say, I don't know, 17, 29 hours, something like that. How you doing, man? You still alive with us?
I'm good, I'm good. I just like to enjoy my Dota with sleep deprivation. It's like peanut butter and jelly, you know, you just gotta have them together. All right, so we're game 5 here. Looks like ban-wise, we're sticking to more or less the same from the last game. And Team Spirit are going to be getting the gyro.
Okay. Earth Spirit is going to be the answer as well. Worth noting that I think last time it was the Rubik first pick overall for Vega, and then they ended up being able to take the gyro. So they're still going to get their Rubik. They're still going to get their Earth Spirit. Things switched up a little bit in terms of the order of it. And we'll see what Team Spirit's response is. It didn't really feel like the problem came about until Team Spirit actually picked their own Broodmother, and then things kind of fell apart from there.
Yeah, which is weird because it was a 4th pick Brood, and I didn't really think that there was a lot of heroes in the pool that they would want to just, you know, put against it in a 1v1. And then they picked Troll, and apparently that hero just does exceptionally well in that matchup. So much so that I don't really think the Brood had any influence at all. So instead of being like some, you know, 4th or 5th pick, what you would, I guess, refer to as like a cheese in this game, where you pick a hero like that, that's very hard to counter. They got countered by 1 pick. So much so that man, that was a rough one for the Brood that game. Like, Phobos didn't get much of anything done.
Yeah, and it's sort of a situation now where if I'm Vega Squadron, I'm still kind of wondering, do we want to ban that Brood? Because if Team Spirit, for instance, with their 4th ban, wanted to take out the Troll Warlord, things could get a little scary. And Team Spirit do have the last round. So you kind of think now, Vega Squadron, okay, if we end up taking if we ban out the Brood now, then we don't have to deal with it. If we leave it in the pool, then Team Spirit might ban out the Troll, and then do we have another way to deal with the Brood? Kind of questionable.
I mean, it is true, but at the same time, you know, you just lost with it hard, and like, from a drafting perspective, picking it in the 4th or the 5th pick are obviously the best. And you did it in one of the best possible spots to pick it against a team that up until that pick did not have anything to do with the Brood, and you got crushed. So I'm thinking that you just, I was going to say, if you're Team Spirit, you ignore it. Because worst case scenario, Vega Squadron change their mind and they go back to, okay, we don't want to play against that hero. If it gets through, then you already know what hero you can pick to counter it, because Troll just completely smashed it into the ground that game.
Yeah. Well, in Team Spirit, they ended up getting banned against them. The Viper is now going to get taken, which is another one of the classics of Vega. This is what they've opened with sometimes in their first 2 picks, is Rubik Viper. Now they get the Viper in the 3rd pick overall. Bane taken as well. And all of the games that they played against each other, all of the different scrims that they've had, it comes down to 1 game to figure out who's going to take it. I mean, do you like the Viper pick in this instance?
I think Viper is like almost universally good. That hero is incredibly strong in the early game. There's a couple of matchups that he'll struggle in, obviously, but you know, Brood and Razor are both banned, so they clearly wanted to set up for this Viper pick. Like, they tailored their bans just to enable this hero. So I'm thinking that he's going to have a good lane pretty much no matter what. During the mid game, he can help push. He does a good amount of damage. He might not offer a tremendous amount of wave clear, but they could just pick up the Underlord now to kind of alleviate that a little bit. And then on the side of Spirit, you have pretty much only 1 hero that kind of hits creeps, and the gyro, and just a whole heck of a lot of strong laning and team fight.
Yeah. Although you do have a lot of group up here from Vega. You talk about it. Underlord taken. I love this hero in early pushing strats, because we talked about in, I think it was the 3rd game, I want to say, where Underlord was just able to like head back to different lanes, defend against stuff as a group. It might have actually been the 1st game. I don't know. I'm not seeing that many weaknesses right now from Vega Squadron's draft. Is there anything that sticks out to you?
They have some like okay wave clear with the Underlord, but they have very little catch besides the Earth Spirit. That's the one thing. So they have like limited wave clear, I would say. Their mobility is not good. Underlord can TP, but it's a fairly long cooldown at level 1. Viper is a slow hero. Underlord is a slow hero. So they're not fast, but they do have one good roamer in the ES, and then their other laners are strong. So like Viper and Underlord are relatively independent. They don't necessarily need like a lot of outside help, which is a good thing because when you have a Rubik and you have weak cores at the same time who kind of need a dedicated babysitter, it can get real rough. So their lineup is relatively balanced. I would like either, I guess they have to pick some kind of super hard carry as their last pick.
Yeah, it's something that, that physical damage, because Gyro's not going to be bringing a ton of that early, and you do need something else to deal with the Viper. They're going to take a Lycan. That's a really cool pick right there. Tons of physical damage. Get a bunch of those summons going. Night Stalker also, so that Howl is going to be giving you a ton of bonus. All right, Team Spirit, pulling it out.
I guess you could say I'm liking that pick. All right, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
I love it.
I'm way too tired to not make that joke.
I love it.
So, the thing that's really nice about it in this match is, again, the lack of really hard disables. Like the Rubik has lift, which is pretty much guaranteed to land. You got Pit of Malice and then Hero Spirit stun. But once BKB comes out, man, this hero has no counter.
Yep.
It just doesn't have one. I mean, granted, you can kind of shut it down in the laning phase depending on how heavily you want to commit, but if it gets like that Necro 3, the Helm of the Dominator, the BKB, I can see things getting a little bit messy. Really good TV ban, by the way. It's another one of those games where that hero would be pretty much uncontested for like late game superiority.
Yeah. Well, and I completely agree. This Lycan gets into those items, it's going to be a huge problem. One of the things that we've seen throughout this series, though, is that sometimes the game is just decided before that even happens. Sometimes you get to the stage where it feels not unwinnable, but like a certain team gets out to an early lead, and that's what I'm seeing from this team's Vega Squadron draft. But ET, another great hero, one that we haven't seen a ton of. Good, I guess not wave clear, but at least like counter initiation, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, ET is something that you normally see with like heavy magical damage compositions and stuff like that, because the Spirit does a lot, or in games where you can bully the supports around a lot by just using the Spirit Abuse in the jungle and stuff, and like stacking and getting this damage and just running people down. I mean, you can definitely do that this game. Like if it's Elder Titan Night Stalker in the off lane for Spirit, wow, that is a hard lane to deal with if you're a Rubik support. It's gonna like demand a lot of attention, or you're gonna need to do work in like your mid and your safe lane, or sorry, your mid and your off lane.
And Viper is the type of hero that can do that to some extent. Underlord never really strikes me as like a lane dominator. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get type of hero. But last pick now coming out from Vega Squadron. What's the answer? They need physical damage. Anything stick out to you?
They may go back for the Lifestealer just because it seems like they enjoy that hero. I would still say something like perhaps a Sven. I still think that hero is very good in games like this.
Oh, particularly against the Lycan, that extra bonus armor.
Yeah, the Warcry is the main reason. It's good against Elder Titan as well for the same reason. So you have Natural Order, which takes all your base armor away. But if you have Warcry, you're just giving your team that, not necessarily like invulnerability, but it's a lot of armor.
It's gonna be the Lifestealer.
Yeah. Again, it's a hero that people they like it. It's good in the lane. I think that Sven also would have been okay, but I guess maybe they were a little bit concerned about playing into a Bane. And, there's a few interrupts, but maybe not enough to where they feel comfortable running that matchup.
I was gonna do you said that a lot of people like it, so I was like, he's a like stealer, and then I was like, oof.
That one, you know what? I'll take it. I mean, it's a little bit of a reach, but I see where you're coming from.
All right, well, Valentimos, he has certainly proven himself very capable on this hero before. I've been really impressed with his play the entire day so far in this best of 5. He's been a standout player for me.
Yeah, I mean, the first Lifestealer game, I think it was the one he played it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he definitely owned that game. So yeah, he's had some pretty solid performances. I think the one tough one was when he was on Visage. I think that game was rough. But again, I don't really think it was his fault. I just think it was like the whole idea of the draft that kind of fell flat. But this time around, he's gonna get back on his comfort hero.
Whoa, and they switch it up on Team Spirit. It's an FNG Night Stalker with DK Phobos playing the Bane.
Yeah, I think it's because they want to run a dual lane where I guess they want the Bane to farm, or something. That's just weird.
Yeah. Or are they going to switch it up? I mean, I think that's what they're stuck with. Well, a lot of changes. We're going to see what Team Spirit go with, as it is going to be a Phobos Bane. I mean, is there... I'm trying to think of what the thought is with that.
Well, I guess it just depends on who they think is going to be more useful with the farm this game. I guess maybe they're just putting a priority on the Bane. He is buying support items, so we'll see. We'll see which one of the heroes actually does end up getting the farm. I'm going by what position the heroes or what position the players play, and then that Phobos is a 3.
Yeah,
like most of the time. So I'm guessing he's still going to be hitting some creeps.
Maybe he's thinking about going back for getting into a BKB or something as quickly as possible so he can lock down the life stealer.
It doesn't really work though, because you can spell steal the grip anyway and then just grip you even when you're BKB'd. So yeah, I'm curious as well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've been seeing throughout the CIS qualifiers for MDL that I've not really been familiar with. But it's always interesting to see people do new things, because when new things happen, you learn. No matter what happens, if you win or you lose and you're doing something different, you're going to learn something. So,
well, can't argue with that. What a good sentiment. Ward's placed down mid. Got both of them on the Radiant high ground. Don't know if that one was scouted. I think that FNG was able to get away with it under the smoke. And it does look like it's still going to be a dual mid. So, is Phobos actually just playing support now?
The battle begins.
After that Broodmother game, they're like, no more of that.
Well, I think it's because it's Night Stalker, ET, and Bane, right?
Okay.
So, to me, I'm just looking at who carries the farm the best. Like, which hero is going to benefit from hitting these creeps. And I guess in this case, it's just going to be the Bane.
All right. Well, they're going to run mid with the Night Stalker, FNG there, and going to try and just put the hurt now on this Mr. Lifestealer here. To take Feast level 1. Top lane, Earth Spirit, and the ET against Illidan. They're going to roll forward right at the start, a little bit off the mark, but they'll give him some punches. And this is not going to be an easy lane for him at all. Taking Atrophy level 1 too, so it's going to be tough to last it.
It's not even just that, it's also the fact that he gets that bonus damage.
Right.
Like, level 1 Atrophy is a lot worse than it used to be. You kind of want it to be level 2 now before it really starts to do a whole heck of a lot.
Now, Rubik going to help out his Life Stealer here in the mid lane. This does mean that it's a solo Undershock bottom, while DK Phobos is just going to play the Enfeeble game. So this is the other nice part about it, I guess, is you're getting levels and you're going to try and deny this Viper his farm.
Denied.
He has gotten one last hit so far.
Yeah, it's a little rough at the moment. I don't really know if they can do anything to help him. That's the problem, right? Like, if they rotate down there, then their Life Stealer is going to be suffering. And do they want to... I guess they do want the Viper to probably get a little bit prioritized over the Underlord in this position, but... Yeah. They can't really stop Phobos from just enfeebling him.
Right. Well, and Blizzy's going to be punished over here as well. They do have only level 1 on the Elder Titan, but Blizzy is still going to end up going down. Byron gets the first blood. Did not want to TP out from that one. Instead, going to TP back to lane quickly. Most likely.
And still, just, everyone's kind of getting their farm, more or less. And the Viper was kind of having a hard time a little while ago, but now he's kind of in a situation where the ES came bottom and kind of forced him back, so he's not getting chain enfeebled anymore, so he's able to hit those creeps. Nice snipe there from Shioma.
Making it happen. Gets himself into a wand if he wants to, or he can probably come close to finish off his boots with the next round of bounty runes, or maybe even before that. But they're going to try and punish on G, and yeah, a bit of a weird laning stage so far coming out from Team Spirit. Again, we talked about the Bane, who is still getting a lot of farm for himself, but really denying it out as much from the Viper anymore. And in fact, Viper is going to be trying to hit away at them with the 2 points in Enfeeble. He actually does no damage. But poison attack still does stuff.
He's got -5 damage. Well, the poison attack does damage based on the health that you're missing. So if he's high health, it really doesn't do much of anything.
You're going to use the open wounds now onto G, punch him a few more times while FNG tries to keep his gyrocopter all fine and dandy. And as you said, trading off farm pretty much everywhere. Not really any chances of kills yet. Pretty impressive the Viper's still able to get something here in this lane in spite of that enfeebling.
Well, I think at level 3 is when it's going to start to completely just drop off, right? Because he doesn't do damage. Like, he just does not hit for anything right now.
That's a good point. It's, it feels like they need to kill him or something, because Phobos otherwise is going to get every single deny in this lane.
Well, he is out of mana now after the next Enfeeble, so he's going to throw one more on, and then we'll see what happens after that.
All right. Gyro, mid, able to be zoned out now by the Rubik and the Lifestealer. Underlord in the meantime trying to get what he can. Bayer just keeps on running at this guy and punching him in the back. He does have boots already up, so Slayer able to get the DD. Now going to wrap around towards mid. Punch G a few more times. Open wounds. They need to be a little bit careful of this, and they're going to get the pull back in. Rolling Boulder coming through as well. Able to find the stun, and now Viper going to back out as well. So they get that kill mid.
Oh, it was very nicely coordinated there from Vega. Everyone used their abilities perfectly. Got that kill. Bottom lane, Soul Ring is going to be delivered here on the Bane, and now it's going to start to get real tough for Undershock.
It's got to be the most annoying thing in the world. Just constantly getting
Oh, it is.
people.
I've experienced this. It makes you want to leave. Like, it's so bad because you don't have a counterplay. And if people have such a ridiculous cast range.
Yeah, he can just keep on doing it. DK Phobos is just sitting there like, what are you trying to do to me, man? And he keeps on denying him out. 15 denies right now. And another enfeeble. Undershot can't do anything.
What do? I mean, you look at it and you go, well, I'm just going to have 0 damage the whole game, I guess. As long as this guy's in my lane. Yeah. He's actually got the 3rd point now, so we're getting into the healing department now.
Jesus. Well, if there's one thing at least, it's that he doesn't have the mana to continue to spam it, but Soul Ring makes that a little bit more possible. I'll have a couple more rounds of it right there. And as the game goes on too, this becomes a problem for Lifestealer also. Like, you can't dispel this. So they need to figure out a way to deal with this. Enfeeble as another roll in on to G. They're able to have another stun. He's starting to die, and with the lift up, the kill, it's gonna be there. ET trying to turn it now. He does have a stomp available, and they're going to end up losing that Earth Spirit.
1 for 1, but killing the Gyro is definitely way more valuable than taking out just an ES, so I think that Vega will be more than happy with that trade, especially considering their Viper has pretty much been reduced to jungling at this point. Like, he literally can't come to the lane, because every time he does, he just eats an Enfeeble.
Now Night Stalker is sort of stalking around the side of him here, and Undershock. Use the salve. He's going to take some damage. There's a rotation in from the Rubik, though. He needs to be real careful. Another round of this, and he might just end up going down. Tries to bait it out. They are going to roll forward for this now. Stun off the mark from the ET, or ES rather. And with that, FNG gets out.
That was dangerously close to being hubris right there from FNG. But yeah, he does get away. And a little bit of a rotation coming in from Vega, but it's like your lanes right now are definitely not in a great place. Like, I guess the Lifestealer is doing okay because they've killed the Gyro twice now, but like top and bottom, they're real bad at the moment.
Yeah. Underlord getting levels, but not enough. He's 3 behind the Lycan right now, and I mean, he is getting a creep wave under his tower, but keeps on getting denied out by Illidan. Vega Squadron struggling to find answers right now. As K Phobos throws another Enfeeble, and he talked about that range. It's just so easy to cast it from basically fog. And Viper just can't do anything.
He can't even see us under his tower. It's one of those situations where they want to help him, but again, it's can you actually kill the Bane? Okay.
And they're just going to grip him? Oh, good silence from the Earth Spirit. Trying to save a life now. They do have a follow-up here if they can get the roll forward and keeping Undershock alive for the moment. Slayer trying to turn this now onto ET. Don't have another Fade Bolt, though, and G rotating down bottom as well. They got to be careful. He's got a call down available, and Vega is going to back out with pretty much everybody else. They don't have a TP, though, on Zayak. Stun comes through, roll, going to be interrupted, and that is a dead Rubik as well. Just far too much damage early, and Team Spirit making it work. They do end up losing the ET to the tower, and this gives a little bit of room back mid again for Lifestealer.
That was a very nice stomp too, coming in from Viper, because he basically landed it as the ES was trying to roll away, and he would have potentially gotten out of there if the stomp timing hadn't been perfect. So nicely done from the side of Spirit as they continue to pretty much free farm at least 2 lanes. I guess Gyro was the one who was having the roughest one in mid, but yeah, their Lycan is going to be huge, no question.
And now DK Phobos gonna come up and do the same thing to Lifestealer. -3 damage. Does not feel great. That's pretty insane.
Yeah. It's also a 20-second debuff, which is like why... oh, actually, it's not 20 at level 1 anymore. I'm sorry. It actually scales up to 20. But yeah, level 4, it's 20, and that's just one of those abilities where it's just not fun. Like, everyone wants to do damage, right? And Bane just says, no, you don't do any damage. That is the anti-fun mechanic right there.
Well, Viper's going to come back to this lane again. They're going to roll in, though. Viper Strike. Oh, you know that Undershock wanted to do this real bad as they're starting to take him down low. Still not doing a ton of damage, and they managed to find the sleep, the grip, the turnaround. Oh, he's going to end up being taken down here. Most likely Zayak actually walking away, able to live there. And he's going to roll away.
And in the meantime, Spirit actually lose FNG, so a 1 for 0. I mean, the Viper's still walking around, not able to really do any damage, so that was kind of annoying for him. Because as soon as they get the turnaround grip, he was already enfeebled. Yeah. So he wasn't even able to get a CS. Like, he was trying to hit a range creep that had like 12 HP and he couldn't kill it. So it's definitely still living the struggle here.
Lycan pops his ultimate, wanted to go onto the Underlord, but Underlord TP's out, and he won't be able to pressure the tower either since the creep wave is already all the way dead. So a little bit of a win there for Vega. And 4-4 so far, but it's a 2,000 net worth lead into the favor of Team Spirit. Pretty good for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, we haven't really even seen the full potential of what their lineup can do yet. It's basically just been these small skirmishes. Once the Lycan comes to a team fight with the Gyro and they're trying to push a tower and all that, that's when you're really going to see how strong the team can be.
They don't have Lycan ultimate as he is still up top, but they're going to try and pressure down bottom. They do manage to hit a scan there, the Radiant do, and Slayer now needing to run. He's going to tank the gank for his Lifestealer. Gets down a ward before he goes out as well.
I like that because it's very hard to notice that ward placement. Yeah. Like, he's sitting in the middle of the trees, you're killing him, you know, you might not see the turn for him to place the ward, and then, you know, he just dies after. So getting something out of his death, it's definitely something that you can look at as a support player and realize, oh, I can actually place wards even if I'm going to die, as long as I place them in a good way.
Yeah. Blizzy here, farming underneath the tower as well. That is going to be Illidan rotating back in to try and deal with this. Tower does a good bit of damage, not enough to really be that big of an issue. So Lycan continuing to be top farmer, but this Lifestealer and Underlord, they've quietly been building up a nice little chunk of change for themselves. He's got a full Vanguard done.
Yeah, the Underlord is always going to get his creeps. That's the one thing about that hero is, even if you shut him down the lane, you know, he's always going to have some kind of recovery method. Looks like Vega potentially want to get this Lycan kill.
Good recognition here, though. They're going to send one of the wolves back in Viz, and he might try and farm here if he doesn't see anybody. The Zayak Spirit runs into him. Meanwhile, G able to get the kill on the Rubik again, just in the jungle, going down, and now they're going to bring the Lycan mid. So they want to try and take this tower. He pops his ultimate. We're going to see Patimos man up against him. He's taking a lot of damage, though. Hops inside of his wolf. And now he's going to try and pop out. This is not really working the way he wanted it to. Open wounds, not happening. They lose the Lifestealer.
Yeah, TP up that whole time.
I think so.
That was definitely awkward. Fiend's Grip here on the Zayak.
Not really a lot that they can do against this. They've got a level 4 Brain Sap afterwards. A good lift, stole the grip. Okay, maybe a turn here as they're going to grip instead the Bane and starting to bring down Viper. The silence to follow. This is a big kill for them if they're able to get it. Another reapplication to magnetize the TK Phobos. Looks like he is going to be able to walk away again. Slayer does back out of there, but looks like they're going to be able to take him down now as they rotate in. And Team Spirit just too hard to kill.
God, that Bane is just so freaking tanky. He ate a full Fiend script, had Magnetize on him for what, like at least 3 seconds during that time. Got rolled on, just turns around, throws out a Brain Sap, and he's good to go. What a freaking hero.
Off-lane Bane. Undershock also ran at now, is within range and going to get hit, but they're Underlord ulting into this one, trying to take down G. Can they get in enough damage? Hit a Malice. The Stomp, though, comes out. The Rage was there, and that's going to be a dead Gyrocopter as Vega respond in turn.
It was a nice attempt from Viper, but unfortunately the Rage was still on for the Life Stealers, so no sleep means he's not able to walk away. And I mean, Lycan's pressuring mid, so it's not a complete loss. Losing the Gyro kind of sucks, but at the same time, they're actually just going to get a tier 1 out of it too.
Radiant's middle tower has
Rubik
fallen.
has some companions now as the Wolves are
Dire's
there,
bottom
and
tower
Vega,
has fallen.
after losing that tower, take one of their own as you mentioned, and now going to try and head back, farm up more. So this pressure from Team Spirit, it feels like it's, you know, real intense right now. Does this start to let up at all for Vega Squadron? When do Vega start to feel more confident in their draft?
Probably not for a good while, I would say. I mean, Undershock's about to die here, and kind of see how he gets out of this.
They're even going to be ready to stomp him and Brain Sap.
Yeah, the issue really stems from the fact that their heroes are just really bad against Lycan. They got one reliable stun, and that's the lift. I guess Pit is pretty reliable because it's a wide AoE, you know, covers the ground. You can probably land it even if he's shapeshifted. But it's only a 1.2 second root. At level 4, it's 1.8. So hitting him with 2 roots basically requires your other heroes to be stunning him while he's in the pit. And then once BKB comes out, you have no lockdown whatsoever, and the Lycan can just do what he wants. In addition to that, you also have not won your laning phase. So you've lost your laning phase against a core hero that you really don't have the answers for right now. So I guess to answer your question is, when do they feel comfortable? Maybe not ever.
Oh God! All right, that's a fair assessment. It's pretty rough right now for Vega. Then, I mean, you go in for this radiance.
Like it is, you know.
I'm with you. And Undershock might just get ran at again, as DK Phobos has a grip available. Zayak is there, and they aren't going to end up gripping him. Instead, rolling forward for more. This is a very bold move. They managed to find the stun silence onto 3, and Blizzy hit a Malice. It's a lot of damage. FNG dropping low as well. They actually keep that Earth Spirit alive. The grip is going to be there. They take down the kill onto FNG. This is actually looking okay. They stole grip as well. Now Bane trying to get the Brain Sap off. It's not going to be within range though, and one more Enfeeble for Undershock to remind him of his laning stage. But the Viper will kill him off.
And that was a great fight, actually. Like the fact that they were able to get so much out of it, and that whole time, you know, Illidan wasn't even pressuring a lane. So I mean, he went to go buy his book 3, I believe, and then that team fight kind of broke out, and he wasn't there. Shapeshift obviously still off cooldown right now. So the next time they take a team fight like that, there is going to be the Necro 3 Lycan that you're going to have to worry about, and that is a very powerful thing this game.
Yeah. They could leave the rest of this one. The tower ends up going down. Blizzy going to be hit by the missile, and oh, are they thinking about going out? I don't think so. Vega need to back out. But still, they take the tier 1 tower. All tier 1's down right now for Team Spirit, and the game may be pulling back a little bit closer to even. That was a huge swing for them.
Yeah, the kills in mid, 3 kills in a tower, that's definitely what you need when you're in this type of situation, because you do lack the ability to reliably start fights. You know, we talked a lot throughout the qualifier about, do you have initiation? How do you make the enemy team fight you? Do you jump them? Do you hit a tower? Do you have to smoke? Like, how do you start fights? Well, Vega pretty much can only start fights by rolling in or hitting a tower. So being given those kills and given that objective 2 on top of that, that makes their type of lineup feel really good.
Yeah. Slayer still holding on to that grip with Undershock. If they find somebody in the jungle, it should be a very quick kill. And FNG might be the one who ends up being found, as he is walking up to high ground. He drops down a ward. That should be scouted out very quickly. Should also mention Gyrocopter, who's been hurt in this game for farm, is starting to play a little bit of catch-up mode, farming out all the camps and ancients simultaneously. So G trying to get back into this game after a rough start of it. And Slayer, well, he does spot out the Lycan. There's a lot of damage rather rapidly, and he just evaporates. They're not even able to really turn it around here either. as they have a grip from Bane, and there's the silence coming in from the Earth Spirit. Wraparound coming though, Lycan. He smells blood and wants to run at these guys. There's gonna be an ultimate already out from Viper though. A lot of damage. Illidan trying to turn onto him, but they're able to get the purge. It's a ton of damage on Urstock, but he does have wand charges still ready to turn, and Lycan's ultimate wears off. Wand charges under shock. There's gonna be Illidan almost able to get out of there. They do have the Radiance on Lifestealer, so this might be the turnaround that they need. They jump inside of the Necro book, and that keeps them alive from all of the damage from the Gyro, and they're winning this team fight handily. DK Phobos nowhere left to run. He's gonna fall 5 dead.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so a couple things. One, when you pop Shapeshift, your path to victory is not running literally all the way around the team fight, wasting your Shapeshift duration. Like, he came back just in time for his ult to wear off, and then he just got kited around by the Viper. He got stuck in a pit for a second or two. Like, the way that he went about the team fight made it so that he wasn't able to fully utilize his ult. And Gyro wasn't even there. Like, Gyro wasn't there at the beginning, so, you know, he drops his call down at the end when, you know, your Shapeshift is already down, your Lycan's dead, TPing away, and that's just the end of the fight. That was a really awkward way to engage.
Well, 13-13, and Vega Squadron, more importantly, have a net worth lead at this point. The swing has just been so pronounced, and you have a Radiance on Lifestealer now? I mean, granted, you still haven't solved the problem of how do you handle Lycan when he's in Shapeshift. But maybe it's just fight when he doesn't have it anymore.
I mean, that's definitely a great strategy. I mean, Illidan, I don't know why he ran that far around. Like, that's the one thing that puzzles me. He legitimately wasted like half of his ult just walking when he could have ran up the ramp and just, you know, stuck in the pit for 1 second and then left it and then hit whoever he wanted. Yeah. So I'm really curious as to why that happened, but we're going to see another Shapeshift here in mid.
Lizzie has ultimate, but going to be silenced, and he is a rather tanky dude, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to take every single ultimate right now. He's the grip on it, and now Radiant don't have a way to get out of here with the Underlord ulti. Earth Spirit looks like he might get tracked down here as well. Throws out a stun. Rolling Boulder back up in 2 seconds. Has the silence, but is going to be silenced first. And with the Necro able to find that purge, that is their kill.
And that's, let's see, a little bit under halfway to BKB if that's what Lycan's going to go for next. I would really like to see him buy it this game. Because if he can Shapeshift with a 10-second BKB and his book is off cooldown, like, you think he was unstoppable before, now he's not going to care about anything. You're going to probably need an AC after that, but, you know, once you get to that point, you should already have enough of a lead. You know, that being said, the tier 1 the tier 1 bottom and top are still alive.
Yeah.
Like, they are still alive, and there is a Lycan on your team. That is an alarming thing for a 21-minute game.
So that's something to talk about. Like, Lycan is definitely the big bad boss man for the Dire team. But I'm still looking at this lineup with, like, the off-lane Bane, the most farm in the game for them. Does that concern you at all? Or not the most farm in the game, excuse me, but the most... he's where a lot of their net worth has been put as far as the other heroes in it. Like, to me, this seems a little bit scary.
It definitely is. Like, I'm not looking at that and being confident because my last team fight was a disaster. So, I mean, it's one of those things where you do it for the laning phase. He obviously was very good at stopping Undershock from getting what he wanted and kind of shutting down Viper's strongest, or one of his strongest points, which is his laning phase. So I get that, but you're absolutely right that once you start to lose steam, that a hero like Bane, even if he has farm, doesn't necessarily feel great.
Yeah.
So it's gonna, you know, it's either gonna be a fight where he gets a Fiend's Grip or a fight where he doesn't, and that's just gonna depend on how it goes.
Oh, look at this, the smoke up with the Underlord ulti. They want to battle this, and Team Spirit might not be prepared. They're gonna pop the ultimate from Illidan just to run away. They realize they're in trouble, and Viper trying to TP out of there. They're only looking like it's gonna lose one. But still, when you have to pop the shapeshift to run away, and now maybe facing another tier 2 tower getting taken, lots of question marks.
I mean, given how they made that play, I think we've seen that maneuver at least one other time, the smoke with the Underlord ulti. And it also had success the last time we saw it too. But it could have been, you know, a core hero, it could have been a bunch of people dying instead of just one. So I would say that was mitigating the loss very well. It will subsequently mean that the tier 2 bottom dies, but Yeah, it could always be worse in that situation.
Well, Vega, they did bring the Rubik back home to try and deal with the pressure, so he's not going to be there while they siege high ground, but they managed to find the stun now onto the Night Stalker. Silence still happening. Altimos, Meteor Hammer onto 3, and the sleep to follow onto 3 as well. Earth Splitter's going to hit onto 3. Need to get the hell out of there. Vega Squadron trying to run. And they will be able to back up. One more Enfeeble before the Lifestealer heads out.
There's a really nice combo there coming in from Biver. Unfortunately, the other heroes just weren't there to follow it. I don't even think Shapeshift is back up yet. Yeah, it's still like 8 seconds away before he's going to be able to use that one again.
Now they have that blink on Earth Spirit, so initiation is definitely ready for him. And you're still a little ways away from a BKB for Illidan. Like, I guess that he'll probably have it by the next fight. With Earth Spirit moving into the jungle, no Lifestealer inside him anymore, and Aegis expiring, Vega might push for a tier 2 here. We'll see what happens.
I think this Lifestealer is still pretty difficult to deal with too, just because the Solar Crest Radiance combo, we spoke a bit about it before, but it is just unbelievably strong. And normally Lycan is great against Lifestealer because you can just munch on him, but with the early evasion, it makes a really, really big difference in how much damage you can do to him, especially during things like Rage when no other hero on the team can really help you.
Yeah.
So this is still looking pretty scary if you Spirit.
Well, there is going to be Roche possible to respawn in 2 minutes. And Team Spirit needing to come up with an answer. It just doesn't feel like they've had, ever since that fight over here by where the Roche pit was, they just haven't really made a move together as a team. And now they're trying to go together, smoke up, ultimates ready to use, Necro Book available as well. And they have really good vision in this area. They see everybody from Vega. All right, Shapeshift pop, Blizzy gonna get ran down here, and he ends up being silenced, so they're not gonna be able to get that Underlord ulti, but do they walk into a trap? There's the stun, the turnaround break is gonna be there, but they get the BKB off from Illidan. The Earth Splitter connects on absolutely everybody. A Beast as well, but they're just not dying on Team Vega. Blizzy is still living through a lot of this damage and walking away from it. He wears out the Shapeshift as well. Team Spirit starting to fall apart. They're going to Meteor Hammer only onto 1, and now Zayak trying to turn and fight. See if he can run down Phobos. The roll forward, there's going to be the catch. And just like that, Team Spirit likely to lose 3. Vega fighting back strong.
Man, I don't know if going on the Underlord was the right play, Vega or Spirit. I really don't. I mean, I get why you want to kill him first.
Oh, God. And they're going for more. Ivor, I mean, this guy's so tanky. He's got everything.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I don't know. I think going on that particular hero was super questionable from Spirit. That is by far, like, the tankiest hero. I think he probably takes more to kill, honestly, at this point than the Lifestealer, because the Lifestealer can put the Solar Crest on him.
Yeah.
So, and that's what happened during the fight, right? Like, they pop the Crimson, and the Lycan's just sitting there hitting him, and then, you know, Palanthimos puts the Solar Crest on Blizzy, and then he's just immortal. Like, he just can't die.
Yeah. Well, and now they're going to go for the full ultimate back out of there and get away scot-free with a full lane of barracks down. It almost felt as if, like, Team Spirit was like, all right, they're going to try and run away from us. Let's make sure they can't do that by killing the Underlord. And then Vega's like, all right, we're going to fight you and kill everybody.
This sustains.
Yeah, it's partly that, and it's also because he carries all of their teamfight items. But the thing is, he already used them.
Yeah.
Like, he used them at the very, very beginning of the fight to help mitigate the damage from the Earth Splitter and the call down and all that other stuff. So I just don't know why you would focus him. Like, you can kill the Viper easily, you can kill the Rubik easily, just take out some heroes in the fight, so that way, when the dust settles from all your ultimates, you're not left in a 5v5, because if you don't have your R buttons in that situation, you're going to lose the fight.
Yeah. Well, that was not the way Team Spirit wanted that fight to go, and now they're 8,000 net worth behind Roshan. 5 seconds until it respawns. We'll see if Vega sticks around for it. They know that it's going to be soon, and they walk back into the pit, and there it is. Rubik has stolen Lycan ultimate as well, so he's running away as a happy little wolf, but with this Roche falling so quickly, Firestorm does so much damage. He's showing in the mid lane too. I don't know if Team Spirit are going to be able to come and contest. It's already done.
No way. It's already dead. Yeah, I think that Team Spirit had two really kind of poorly executed team fights twice in a row, and it's put them in this precarious situation where they gave so much time for the Lifestealer and the Underlord to get farmed. Like, this Underlord is huge, and now the Lifestealer has overtaken the Lycan in net worth by a pretty wide margin at that.
Well, Viper is away from the rest of the team, and he was hopefully thinking that somebody was going to come and contest for mid, but they're going to go bottom, where they want to try and find a pickoff onto FNG. Lifestealer inside, there's the lift up, and that is a dead Night Stalker. 50 seconds, no buyback. Well, he just gets it now. So if they need to, they can use it to defend, but it's feeling like this is a push from Vega that might be there to try and finish the game.
Yeah, it's actually in danger of being just GG if they mess up like that again.
Oh, look at this. Another Underlord ulti to the high ground, and they're not showing. They do now. And Gyro going in. He didn't realize that they were all there. Oh, now he's trying to run. They're still chasing for the moment. He has his BKB pop. Needing to run. They are going to get the lift up. No stomp from the ET. And this is falling apart for Team Spirit. And now DK Phobos also outside of the base. He's going to get ran at, broken with that Viper. And they're going to find another kill. No buyback on the Bane. They buy back on the ET to try and defend against this. And you do have Illidan that's pushing out mid, but they're just going to go hit the barracks. They've got creeps in the base. Jump forward, stun. They got the gyro caught. No BKB. Vega Squadron taking no prisoners. Their eyes are on the MDL Major. 3 heroes dead, no buyback, and all lanes open. So Vega can start tearing away at them, and Lycan is trying to go for some full push. At the meantime, they actually go back to defend against this right now. And they were able to cancel some TPs, so Underlord getting ran out while the tier 3s are starting to fall. Lycan wanting to get a lane of barracks for himself. They might actually be able to get something here, but Underlord is clearing up all these creeps. He's had all his mana burned, but it's just going to be one lane of barracks, if anything at all, for Illidan, who's starting to get pummeled as well by Blizzy. He's going to try and TP away from there. A lot of damage. That cripple probably saved the Lycan's life, as Vega Squadron going to back out now. So Team Spirit gets something, but man, it feels real bad. Play their lineup now.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
I honestly, at this point, it's very clear that Spirit don't want to take a confrontation, and they didn't get punished there at all on the side of Vega. Like, they still had the Aegis up. So all they got to do is walk bottom. And what are they going to do? Are they going to rat another lane when you get Megan? I mean, they can't even go anywhere but mid. Like, there's a tier 1 in the off lane. Like, what's your game plan here?
Yeah. Yeah, that the lack of early towers is definitely coming back to haunt Team Spirit, and you're getting into these later items. They got an Assault Cuirass done for the Lifestealer. Buyback status right now, Bane has it, Lycan has it, and Night Stalker has it.
I'm just thinking back to the earlier fights, you know, the reveal of the 10-second BKB and Illidan spending that entire time hitting a Solar Crested Underlord, and then the fight before that where he decided to run from like the high ground where the bounty rune spawns all the way around the Ancients, all the way below through the shrine to freaking get back into the fight. Like, that cost them so much, I think. It doesn't seem like a huge thing in the grand scale, but imagine if they win that fight on the hill, right, the first time. Imagine what happens then. Maybe they get Roche. Maybe they don't have to worry about this like gigantic Lifestealer at 32 minutes hitting a tier 3. Like, all these things matter a tremendous amount.
And all of the survivability items too. We mentioned it before, but AC on Lifestealer, they've got Crimson, Pipe, Guardian Greaves, everything in the book. They get the lift up here, so not the greatest of initiation from Vega. They're also going to have the Earth Spirit Crypt, and deciding they want to back out now. Don't take bad fights. They are going to defend against the Lycan split push that's coming. So Illidan able to force back Vega Squadron another time.
I mean, it's nice that he's able to force them to do that, but realistically, like, you're hitting a tier 4, you're not going to be able to stop your team from getting Megad, and the chances of you ending the game before they're able to TP back are pretty slim. I mean, he's doing what he can, but ideally that tier 2 bottom would be dead. And, you know, they certainly wouldn't have a tier 1 in the top lane. But
they have eyes on Illidan now, too. Yeah. And that's going to be the lift. So Illidan BKBing away. There's so much physical damage, though. He can't live through it, and He does have buyback, but using it at this stage of the game just hurts so badly. And Vega, now they don't have to worry about the split push. Creeps are mid. And even though they don't have that Earth Spirit, they are coming in to try and pressure this. They force the buyback from the Lycan. Vega, playing it safe, going to retreat and make sure that they don't throw anything away.
Just doing the economic damage is enough. Like, it's 15,000 gold lead right now for Vega. Like, they've put themselves in such a good position in this game. And Lycan is one of those heroes that does fall off pretty hard. Normally, at this point, you would want the Gyro to be doing a lot of the carrying and the fights and stuff. But even G, you know, he hasn't had the greatest series, in my opinion. A lot of the games and the lanes that he's had have not been ideal. So I don't know if he's had like the proper opportunity to shine as a player, because I think that he's one of like the best mechanically skilled players, pretty much.
Yeah.
He was always great to watch mid when it was like the 1v1 meta, but his matchups just haven't been good today. So that, you know, in conjunction with the fact that I think that Spirit did not play the fights as well as they could have, Vega just looked like they might have secured themselves a little trip to a major.
It's going to take a lot, and G has that Rapier queued up right now, but he's still a long ways away from being able to finish it off. It's a type of item that can turn a series, but are they going to even get the chance to use it, as they're going to go for the Dark Rift onto the Wolves, summoned from the Lycan. What? They canceled it. Okay.
Either that or the Wolf died. Is the Wolf still alive?
The Wolf's still there.
Oh yeah, it's still there. What the heck were they trying to do?
I don't know. They're trying to play with style, getting a little bit too footloose and fancy free. Earth Spirit is still there with the Lifestealer inside of him. And they do get vision now of that ward, so Vega. Again, taking their time with this one. Can't really blame them for that. They have put themselves in a winning position. It's just, can they finish it off? FNG. It's nighttime, maybe a little bit scarier.
Dire's bottom tower
It's about to wear off, though, darkness, and as it does wear off, 38 seconds before it becomes night again, naturally. They're looking for the wraparound now from the Lycan. Illidan wants to try and take this fight, but can he find the back line? They spot FNG. Over to the side, and the Wolves are there as well. Illidan no longer wrapping around. He decides that he might want to go mid. And there's going to be the roll in, the jump as well. He's found it right off the bat. That's the Bane caught. He is going to blow up. G now also trying to run away. Illidan getting ready to pop into this one. He pops his ultimate, but all attention right now from Vega Squadron is going to be focused back towards the buildings. Illidan chasing down now, trying to take down this Earth Spirit. 4-stap away, keeping him alive for the moment. A great stomp, though, able to interrupt this, and Earth Spirit left alone. He is going to be able to have a jump away, though. The blink, the Yule's keeping him alive, and even though the stomp was good, the Pit of Malice is on to 2, and the roll forward a little bit off the mark there again. Able to turn this back around, and looks like Vega Squadron still surviving, still living. The buildings are. There's the stomp, catching through on to 2, and Vega Squadron going to focus here for his GG's called, and they're going to MDL.
Very, very deserved. A close series between these two teams. Honestly, I think if they play again, it's another coin toss. You know, it's a 50-50. It went to full 5 games. You know, not all the games were necessarily super close, but it's very apparent that these teams know each other, and that, you know, maybe next time Spirit will get a trip if they play the same match again. But today, like you mentioned, it's going to be Vega.
Yeah. Well, very impressive stuff. Congratulations to Vega Squadron, going to be going to a major. I'm sure that they're incredibly happy about that. Andy, thank you so much for going on this wonderful journey with me. You've been up for 17 and a half hours. So everybody be sure to give Draskyl some love. He stayed up all night to cast these games. What a guy. Any final words before we sign off one last time?
Again, just I guess echoing your sentiment, congratulations to Vega, and look forward to seeing him at MDL.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, this is going to complete CIS qualifiers for the MDL Major. Still a lot of Dota 2 going on all over the world. And thanks, shout-outs again to my other co-caster, Tsunami, who's tuning in at various points as well. And we will be back again. I guess that there's more qualifiers going on. I think NA finished yesterday. This one was delayed by 1 day, so Epicenter could finish off. Shout-outs to MDL for a very cool combination of formats. I think that this one... really gave us an opportunity to highlight a lot of the teams In case you guys missed it, while Dream League was going on, there was a whole group stage that went on throughout this entire week. And then after the group stage, you basically were able to keep on with the playoffs. Everybody stayed in it. And it just got a lot of chance to watch some great Dota. So thanks again, MDL. Thanks to co-casters, Draskyl and Tsunami. And we'll see you guys next time for more great Dota 2 action. Adios.